The Green Bay Packers had a shocking loss at home to the Carolina Panthers in Week 9. Now they get to host the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football to see if they can redeem themselves here in Week 10. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down this matchup and provide our predictions at the very end of the video. So be sure to stay tuned, leave a comment, let us know who you think is going to win and why. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, get notified when new videos come out. And Ryan, shocking loss by Green Bay so far. I'm still kind of waiting for them to get into that playoff push form. I feel like you've seen it the past couple weeks, and then they go and have a game like this today. They did suffer a really big loss to Tucker Craft. It is, as of this recording, which is Sunday night. We're recording this during Sunday Night Football, but it is believed that he tore his ACL and he's going to be out for the year, which that's going to be a big loss for that team. However, though, with Matt LaFleur's offense, love the way that they have the offense set up overall. Next man up, and I think it's one of those anybody can eat mentalities. And so they're going to be going up against the Super Bowl champs Philadelphia Eagles, who are coming off a bye and struggled a little bit offensively. This it's not a little bit to their standards, a lot of it. And I think also too a little bit defensively as well too. So I think the bye was a good time for them to rest, regroup, see where they can keep on improving overall. And it's going to be a very big matchup here because there's a lot of playoff implications on the line here for this game. And both these teams played in the playoffs last year, actually. The Eagles are the ones who beat the Green Bay Packers. So, Ryan, I want to throw it over to you here. What are your thoughts on Green Bay? And also, what are your thoughts on the Eagles as well, too, especially coming out of their bye?
Yeah, so I thought Philadelphia, I mean, not that I have ever been like super worried about them because they're still 6-2 and they've been winning these games, but this offense has just been stagnant at times. And I think you go look at the turnover on the offensive line. They've had multiple different formations or like different I don't know. People
Offensive
have
line
yeah,
matchups are.
multiple different offensive lines that have even had to start just because of injuries. Players have been playing hurt, and they just haven't been as physically dominant as they were last year up front. And I think that's kind of trickled its way down to the run game. Saquon Barkley has dealt with just nothing major, but just some injuries, getting banged up there as well. AJ Brown missed the last game with a hamstring, and so hopefully coming out of the bye, he's feeling good and getting ready to go for this matchup. But yeah, it's scary to say that like a 6-2 team hasn't really lived up to their potential, like, and that's kind of a unanimous feeling across everyone. And so I think if they can just kind of start to piece these things together and start to uh, improve going forward, and they'll be able to make a really nice playoff push here. But the other thing defensively, I think it's going to be interesting to kind of see uh, what they end up doing. They've struggled a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball, especially since like in the secondary specifically. Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean have done well. They just traded for a corner whose
Jair,
name
Jair
yeah,
Alexander.
yeah, Jair Alexander. And so hopefully that allows this back end of this defense to start playing better. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what this Eagles team puts out, because I think that they could come out here and they could blow the doors off this Green Bay team, or they could come out and they could kind of be what they've been this year and just be okay compared to their standard, and you know let Green Bay sneak this one out. So with that being said, on the flip side, Green Bay in spurts has been really dominant this year. You look, they added Micah Parsons. That pass rush has been much more disruptive this year than it has in years past. And offensively, at times Jordan Love has been good, but they haven't been able to consistently kind of piece things together where the defense is playing well on the same day as the offense, or they can't piece 4 straight quarters together of good football. And then now you throw in the Tucker Craft injury, and they've already been missing a few guys in that wide receiver room so far this season. So very curious to see how Green Bay handles their depth getting tested in this matchup against what should be the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, no, I think to me is the matchup's going to come down to, and it's pretty cliche to say because I feel like every game comes down to this, but it's going to be the trenches. It's going to be is the Green Bay Packers offensive line. Are they going to be able to hold down Jalen Carter and this defensive line? Because there's also a big difference too in this Eagles defensive line when Jalen Carter's in the lineup versus not in the lineup here. That kind of embarrassing loss they had to the Giants on Thursday Night Football couple weeks back before they beat the brakes off the Giants before their bye week. But didn't have Jalen Carter in that game. So I think Carter being in that game is going to be a big disruptor because this Jordan Love led offense works the best when it has time for the motion, like for the motion of the crossing routes and for the spacing to develop for Jordan Love to make his reads. And then on the flip side too, though, it's going to be this Eagles offensive line is pretty banged up. I have to see if Cam Jurgens is able to play. As to my knowledge and what I'm seeing right now on our lads, he's not on IR, but maybe he just needed this time to rest. So we'll have to see if he's able to play. But adding Micah Parsons, who's historically never been a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's going to love this opportunity to go up against this team here. But in general, though, too, as what you're talking about, the Green Bay Packers, sixth in total yards allowed, 15th in passing yards allowed, third in rushing yards allowed, which is huge too because the Eagles, not like they've been super stellar overall running the ball. So far this year, compared to last year's standards, they're 19th overall in rushing yards at 111 rushing yards per game. So
Yeah.
it is going to be a big matchup of the trenches because I think what historically what we're used to being really good for the Eagles, the offensive line hasn't been super great. The Packers defensive line has improved a lot, especially now with the addition of Micah Parsons. Definitely more in the pass rush, but it still opened things up as well too for their run defense as well, just with his overall speed. But then on the flip side too, though, with some of the injuries that the Packers are dealing with, are they going to be able to slow down this Eagles defensive front if they're able to play at their full potential? So that's where I think this is really going to come down to. This matchup, I will say, because I feel like we still haven't seen the Packers at their best. Also, this matchup to me would not be surprised if this is the NFC Championship game come
Oh yeah.
January as well too. I think both of these teams still have a lot left to be desired as they're still battling the injuries. I really like the way both Matt LaFleur and Nick Sirianni coach these teams. And I think to me, as I said, I know it's cliche. I like to say like it's going to come down to the trenches, but in this one, it really is just because of like the overall question marks for both of these teams. And so I really like the skill position players. I think it's a fun matchup between Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. Fun matchup between Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley. Like we're talking about head to head as well too. I think the receiving rooms as well too have good opportunities against both of these secondaries. Both secondaries can be good, but have shown areas of potential improvement. More so, I would say on that comment to the Philadelphia Eagles compared to the
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers. In my opinion, the Eagles defense. Let me double check here. They're 22, 17, and 20th when it comes to yards, total yards allowed, passing yards allowed, and rushing yards allowed. So when it comes to this game here, I think the thing to me when kind of watching this game here is the Panthers were able to really disrupt just this Packers offense as a whole, and really kind of disrupt this offensive line. I think the Eagles coming out well rested as well too. I think that's just going to help give them the edge and even an extra day as well too, just an extra day to help game plan for this game on prime time. I could absolutely see this going the Packers' way, especially too. They're going to be looking to bounce back after a loss to the Carolina Panthers, but I'm still going to go. I think with the Philadelphia Eagles here, and I think I just think they're going to be well rested enough and maybe figured out some stuff to kind of exploit this Packers team.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Philadelphia. I think you look, they gave up 163 rushing yards against the Panthers. Now, the Panthers are a good rushing offense. Like they have a good
Mhm.
rushing game. And I think this is going to be a big bounce back week for this Philadelphia rushing offense. And then, I just like them in this matchup. I think that they do a lot of the things well where Green Bay is weak, and I think overall Philadelphia is just going to come out to be the better team in this matchup. So really curious. Both of these teams have already had their bye weeks. They're already kind of starting to build towards the postseason and really start to stack weeks and get ready for that. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really big matchup. And like you said, I think this could very easily be the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and I think just real quick touching on the playoffs here. The Eagles' road to the playoffs is going to be a lot easier, I think, for the Packers. We're recording this right now during Sunday Night Football, and it's 21 to nothing Seattle. And
Yeah.
so Washington's not the team that it was last year. I think they're dealing with a lot of injuries too, and so Dallas maybe can make a push because that offense is an absolute like ridiculous joke in a good way. I mean, they that offense is elite in Dallas. Like maybe that could
Yeah.
take them to the promised land, but the Eagles win this one, and then they're able to go up, and then the Cowboys. I forget who the Cowboys are playing. Oh no, the Cowboys are on a bye. They still are playing tomorrow night on Monday night. They somehow lose. It's kind of almost a sealed deal, I would say, with Philadelphia, unless they just have like an absolute epic collapse, like how they did a couple years ago. Well, the Packers, on the other hand, though, 5-2-1, half game up on Detroit, half game up on Chicago. I think a game and a half up on Minnesota, and a lot of games I believe left for them to still play here as I go and pull up their schedule. I know they still play the Lions as well too coming up. They play the Vikings, they play the Bears twice, and then they play the Vikings in Week 18. So, and all these teams, I think this NFC North division is going to be a wild ride for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So the Packers, this is it's almost, I'm saying this because it's almost like it's a much bigger win needed for the Packers almost than the Eagles when it comes to the division race.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that NFC North is one of the best divisions in football. And the NFC East was last year. But I think you look at it now and it's like Commanders look really bad right now. And
They're so injury prone. I would love to see them still healthy, but yes, yeah, they're not playing well.
it's like the Giants, like you can make a case the Giants are the third best team in that division right now. Dallas's defense is one of the worst in the league, but that offense is one of the best. So like it's a
Yeah,
Cincinnati Bengals of 2025. So
yeah, yeah.
it's a really interesting kind of dynamic in the NFC right now. But
Oh yeah.
we are both taking the Eagles in this matchup. Let's go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Philadelphia Eagles? Will it be the Green Bay Packers? And that we'll see you guys next time.